A question. Did you know that you don't worship God? You worship the God that you know. You don't worship God. You worship the God that you know. And the God that you know is limited to your understanding of who He is. There's a reason why certain people end somewhere where blessings are concerned. It is not because they do not pray enough. It is because the God that they know ends there. There are people now, let's have 2 rooms. When you tell them about moving to a 2-bedroomed house, they think you have money. It's not because they are timid. It's because they do not know that there's a God that supplies 5-bedroomed houses. There's a God that supplies 20-bedroomed houses. The problem is not that, it is not anything else. It is the God that they know. They are limited based on their understanding. Tell your neighbor, say understanding.
Understanding.
Psalm chapter number 27. I want us to build something together. Psalm chapter number 27. But hold it there.
Psalms 27.
Hold it. Did you know that you are responsible for the God that you know? Can I tell you why? A man's greatest asset on earth is not to receive Christ. It is to know Him. You have received Christ. What next? Okay, lift your hands. Oh, I received Christ. What next? If you don't know, there are people, they have limited their salvation. They feel that because they received Christ, it ended there. There are people, some of which are here, because they received Christ, and they are able to pray for 2 hours. They are able to pray for 30 minutes. They feel they've gotten to a level where in a lesser number, now become level where 10,000. Because they can pray for 2 hours. In a lesser number, now become level paria. Because they feel they have known God, but they have no revelation of who He really is. They are limited. They are limited. Sometimes God cannot come through in our lives, not because we do not pray enough, but because the understanding we have of Him is limited. The God that you know is limited because of how you have chosen to understand Him. Tell your neighbor, the God that you know.
The God that you know.
Come on, tell your neighbor, the God that you know.
The God that you know.
This is Simon Peter, who, when you read about him, the Bible will tell you this man was flowing in healing. This man, actually, when you go down in the scripture, he actually rebuked himself. Somewhere verse 50, if I'm not mistaken, should be 40, between 45 and 50. He rebuked himself. And he says, I spoke these words. Because he's gotten to a level where he's thinking now, I'm missing somewhere. Understanding. Tell your neighbor, understanding.
Understanding.
Know the Lord your God, and ye shall be established. Establishment is not in prayer. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my sister. Establishment is not in the accent. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my brother. Establishment is not in grace. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my sir. Establishment is in knowing God, knowing His ways, knowing His word. That is where establishment is. And when you begin to know Him, He begins to unveil who He is to you. He begins to unveil who He is in your life, because you have opened your eyes of understanding. My question to you this afternoon is, which God do you know? I want you to ask yourself that very seriously. Which God do you know? Apsa revelation. Alafroa. Limbino kusesema sesema. Kusesema so. Akusesema. You are wearing shiny. Your name. Your what. Your what. But he misses a sign of God because he doesn't know it. Chapter. Ukupita so. Chapter. Achipusa wino.